Hey guys, we're here today in Valheim, and we are going to take a quick look at the safest base locations for each biome. That way, as you progress through the game and enter new areas, you know the first things to look out for, or certain locations to hunt down to make an outpost. That way you can get yourself a decent resting location in the area, and have a relatively safe spot to respawn in, cook food, or portal back home. As we go through each location, a recurring theme will be the game's runestones being a backup location to build pretty much at all times. It elevates you off the ground. Whenever you attach a piece of wood to it, it gets foundation quality support, and you are able to attach campfires to the runestone, allowing you to get rested while elevated up in the air. Outside of the runestones, in the meadows you will come across these small abandoned villages. This is an ideal location to start a base off in the meadows when you're early in the game. It starts you with a good shell that can be repaired as long as there's a workbench in the area, and will give you a spot to already have a roof and allow you to operate your workbench with little to no material investment. There are going to be beds sometimes in the way, however those can be hit with an axe or something and destroyed, and you can place your own bed in the location. It gives you multiple building options to have a house, a workshop, and so on. And again, repairing buildings in the game does not cost materials, so these give you a very cheap start out base. Once you progress to the Black Forest biome, your biggest threat are trolls. And you know what they say, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. So the number one spot to build once you get to the Black Forest is the open mouth of a troll cave. There will be a troll inside this cave, however it cannot exit it, so it is entirely safe to build on the exterior of it. The mouth of the cave gives you shelter whenever you have a fire present, and just like the rune stones, when you attach building pieces to the troll cave stone, it will give it foundation quality support. You can also place a row of walls along the troll cave entrance to keep yourself from accidentally zoning into the cave. Your workbench can operate inside here, and you can fairly easily in a tight space get very high comfort and a fire rolling without too much issue or problems. And if you are interested in it, when you're in the mouth of the troll cave, you can dig down and you will actually see that there's a bottom to the troll cave's zone line, allowing you to go underneath it without zoning into the troll cave, allowing you to work on an underground base with a pre-done roof already, making it very hard for enemies or mobs to bother you. And the next location that you will go to after the Black Forest is the swamp, a very dangerous place when you are not properly equipped, and a location riddled with creatures that will inflict poison on your character. Now, if you have spent any time in the swamp, you are probably thinking that we're going to look at one of the trees that you cannot chop down and are indestructible because they make perfect tree houses. However, when you try to build in one of these, you will notice that you cannot stick a campfire on them without having some form of stone cutting or braziers, which makes them not ideal for outposts or for your first time in the swamp. What you actually want to look for is one of the fallen down trees that are laying horizontal that you need to jump onto. Makes it very difficult for enemies to get to you, pretty much impossible for Draugr or Skeleton, and your biggest threat in the swamp out the gate will be the blobs or oozes, and they also have trouble getting up here, although their AoE poison can still hit you if you are too close to them. Not only is it hard for enemies to get up in these trees, but since they are laying horizontally, you can place campfires on them, making it a great starter outpost, allowing you to gain the rested buff when you are just venturing in here for the first time. And the fourth biome you're going to come across is the mountains, which I feel like is the first place in the game where pretty much every creature in it poses a huge threat to you. The absolute ideal location in the mountains to build are the abandoned underground bunkers or silos. They have places at the bottom of them that provide natural shelter. You can place a campfire on them since they are stone. They have a decent amount of room in them, and you can give yourself a covering and a roof with minimal effort and materials. However, these silos are not all that common and may be difficult to find since they do not exist in each mountain biome. So the mountains might be the first place where you have to get a little bit creative and do an interesting base style in order to have a somewhat safe outpost. The idea to build on top of a runestone still stands as a option C because it's better to be elevated off the ground and at least protected from some of the creatures, although in the mountains it is better to be underground than above it. If you find yourself a large rock formation, option B would be to dig And once you get under the rock, it will not cave in, and you will be able to keep digging in here and build a bigger underground base. And then to make yourself a ramp out, you will just walk into the wall and keep digging one hit at a time until you have a ramp down underneath the boulder. Again, this would be option B, and if you come across one of these underground bunkers or silos, mark the location and definitely try and build an outpost there, since it is the safest location in the mountains that you can get up and running pretty quickly. And the fifth biome you will come across is the plains. Very dangerous and very difficult to operate in, especially when you first get here. There are some very large stone pillar formations that can be very good spots to build on to get you elevated and safe from some of the enemies. However, just like the trees in the swamp, they cannot be attached to with a campfire unless you get all the way up on top of it. Due to this, the quickest and safest location that you can get are just some of the basic and simple rock boulders found in the plains. They are somewhat large, and as you can see here, difficult to just run up onto, which means you will have to jump on top of it. This actually works in our favor because even though the death mosquitoes are a large nuisance in the plains, they are not the most dangerous thing. And what we are primarily avoiding in the plains is ground creatures, which means they cannot get up on these rocks, making it the ideal location to build an outpost. And obviously, because it's a rock, you're able to place a campfire on it. There's not much you're going to do in the plains to escape death mosquitoes because they can fly, so this eliminates the most danger and gives us a quick resting location to avoid the majority of the creatures in the plains. Alright guys, there was just a quick video showing you the best location in each of the 5 biomes in order to build an outpost or the beginning parts of a larger base. These locations are not necessarily the coolest location in each biome, since you can build tree houses and things like that in the swamp, or build on the giant stone things in the plains in order to make some really neat builds. However, each of these locations can place a campfire on them, making it ideal for a quick outpost in that biome, and technically speaking, the best location, since a campfire is absolutely needed in order to survive, rest, or sleep in the game. Hopefully this video gave you some ideas on where you want to build your outpost or your base, and gives you a good starting off point in each biome. Thanks for watching. I will see you next time.